Hey, welcome in.
Welcome to the Arrowhead Addict podcast.
We are here coming to you live. Let me tell you, the dopamine, it's flowing.
I am damn excited. Damn excited.
That's a terrible drum roll.
Oh!
Boy, how you doing, man? Patrick.
Will, Sterling.
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion, two-time Pro Bowler, and Trent Green. Trent Green, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And he picked it up! He picked it up! He's gonna score! And we'll see you next week, but until then, as always, go Chiefs.
Welcome into the Arrowhead Addict Tuesday edition. Sterling Holmes, JB Brisco on the X, myself at Homestretch KC. We have a new intro. That was fun. That was electric. Richard, I assume that's you. Great job, dude. No one let me know that. And that's a brand new, very fun intro.
Dopamine is flowing. That's when I was like, wait a second. Something's different here. Something's a little bit, something's flowing. Is that dopamine? And it sure is. And the dopes are here to talk about it. You're welcome, America.
The Dope's here to talk about the dopamine. Yeah, not a lot going on in Chiefs Kingdom. You thought last week was slow. This week is like, Orlando Brown Jr. running the 40. It's real slow.
All right. So I'll just go ahead and scratch off my rundown where I had us talking about Mike Edwards for 35 minutes. Sorry, we have news, Sterling, since last Tuesday.
By the way, who called the Mike Edwards signing?
We've been here.
This guy.
We've been talking about it.
This dude.
America needs to know.
I kept saying, yo, the Chiefs are going to sign a Mike Edwards type. And then I looked it up. I go, Mike Edwards is a free agent. That Mike Edwards type is going to be Mike Edwards. This is my Richie James prediction all over again. I'm very good at predicting guys who probably won't make an impact on the team.
Yeah, my condolences to Mike Edwards if he's 2025 Richie James, but still.
I'm very good at predicting players that really are going to have very minor roles on said team. It's a superpower that not many folks have, not many people want, yet I possess. Someone has to be that guy, and luckily I'm the one to do it.
Not all heroes wear capes, Sterling, is what I was going to say. Not all heroes wear capes. In this instance, you're wearing a little stubble at most at this point. I think. What's your shirt say? What are heroes wearing today? Superpowers. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I saw the word sex on the bottom, and that seems inappropriate to me.
It's actually, I think it says red sex. Chili sex, actually.
Bro, could I just advise against that? It
says red blood, hot sugar, chili sex, and pepper magic. Because it's Red Hot Chili Peppers, blood, sugar, sex, magic. It's that album.
I got there by the time you got around the fourth line there, but... I would just recommend against chili sex. That seems incredibly dangerous to me.
Slothy says somebody called the doctor. Sterling's going to break his arm, patting himself on the back. I might break my back actually. Arm so strong.
I know that the answer to this is no, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Hey, Slothy, are you new here? Sterling's being a little self-congratulatory today. What's gotten into him? The chili pepper. Like the chili pepper got into him. What's up, Stu? What are we doing today, huh?
We are going to do something that you and I are actually both not a fan of.
Another podcast.
Mock draft.
Oh.
We are going to do a mock draft. So I do one a year. Some people throw like 35 of these out there. Some people go ahead and do like 20 mock drafts. They post them on their Twitter account as if everyone wants to see it. Mock drafts are almost like what you scored in golf or your dreams or fantasy football. No one cares but you.
Yeah, I care about your dreams more than I care about your mock draft personally.
But we're going to have fun with this, and we're going to get involved. If you're in the chat, I'm going to throw some names out there. We'll go a little slower. Briscoe's going to do a little GMing on this side of things where he's going to see how said players might fit. I don't know how to screen share, Richard. I probably should have came to you before this so you could have saw.
You should.
But we're not going to do that. Actually, I think I can't. This is even more fun.
Don't do it.
Sterling Holmes.
Let me, while you poke around, while you set that up, Sterling, I'll say what I think we're gonna do here in terms of like the roles we're playing. Let's see Sterling's tabs. Let's see what kind of ads Sterling's getting.
One's DMV.
And one is for what appears to be medication, probably for older people, which fits for both of us now.
I watch a lot of GSN. That's probably why.
What I think we need to do here is Sterling's got the button. I think Sterling might actually be the GM in this scenario. It's Tuesdays. I think Sterling is the general manager. What I am offering to be, what I am hoping to be, is the Chiefs, one of the pro scouts. I've been doing some self scouting, and Sterling, you're gonna bring some of your top picks at each round. Maybe we even have a little discussion about a move up or a move down. You bring that to the table. I'm going to tell you where I think this guy fits or doesn't fit in not just the 2025 roster, but in the long-term future of this team. And I think we're going to do something at least a little different than your average mock draft here today.
Because we're different guys.
We're just different kind of guys.
All right. Is this working? Can you see my screen? Is this
I
actually?
can. And wow. I think Richard's cropped it out to where we're seeing just what we need to see there in the actual live.
Yeah, I'm technologically very savvy. I'm known for that. All right, let's start this bad boy. I press start.
Let's go get Travis Hunter. Move up. 2 gone. He's gone. This is moving pretty fast, Stu. If you want to give us a little pause around pick 20, or I'd say pause it right here. Let's just look at the board. We're at 28 right now. Colston Loveland still on the board.
Kenneth Grant, D-line. Let's go. Josh Simmons still there.
Still there.
Marion Hampton still there. I think if the Chiefs were able to get Colston Loveland, Kenneth Grant, or Josh Simmons at this point, there are 4 spots to KC?
Yeah.
And 3 players I'd be thrilled with. I think Amarian Hampton would be a guy that some people, running back from North Carolina, that some folks have had mock to KC in the first round that I would be. I love the little dude who's shirtless dancing right now. I love these ads. That's just phenomenal.
Most of those are getting cropped out. You can only see a little bit of that one from what other people are seeing. You and I are the only ones. You, me, and Richard are the only ones seeing all of the ads right now.
Yeah, just the dude in the shower. That's great. Love that. This one's beer. Like beer. That's cool. That's cool. Either way, I think this would be a good situation for KC, correct?
I think it's all right. Can we see the defensive tackle board? Or if you just scroll up a little bit, you should be able to just click DT. That's going to D or DL, I guess is fine. We'll look at the whole line. Because I'm saying here from my spot over here in pro personnel, obviously I think the biggest need right now, short term and long term, is across the defensive line. And so, if you love Kenneth Grant, maybe this is a spot where you're thinking about moving up. I'm not in love with any football players from the college level to this point yet. I know we are in the month of April. I will not fall in love if I can help it. But you've got a couple of top 30 guys on this board with Grant and Harmon. I'll have to go over. Maybe I'll check the KCSN draft guide. It's out now. See what they think about these guys once we get to 31. But I don't want to move up here. I'm ready to let the board fall to us, Stu. That's where I'm at.
Let us fall.
Let's fall.
We shall unpause. Okay. Kenneth Grant, still there.
On the board. Josh Simmons still on the board.
Simmons still there.
Amarian Hampton still on the board. If they go Hampton here in this situation, I'll be bummed.
Derek Harmon as well from Oregon. So this is a pretty good situation for the Chiefs if they were to sit at 31 and the board falls this way. You have an offensive tackle in Josh Simmons, who might be the best offensive tackle prospect in the draft, but is going to miss this entire season because of injury. You have Kenneth Grant, a really talented defensive lineman from Michigan, obviously playing in the Big Ten, very talented organization, or should I say college. They're organizations now. Let's be real. Yes. You're paying players. It's the NIL.
It always was. Always has been. Ask about me.
But it is funny, like the older I've gotten and the more that the players are getting paid, and it's a business now. So it's an organization. You're no longer college. You're an organization. I think for me, it comes down to Kenneth Grant or Josh Simmons. Depends on your flavor. Do you want to try and bolster the offensive tackle position for 2026? Or do you want someone who can maybe come in and make an impact in 2025 and beyond? That is what it comes down to. Brisco, in this situation and scenario, I will let you choose because you're going to talk about how these guys might fit, or at least what the Chiefs need. Which way are you leaning?
I think if there were no defensive linemen that we liked at this spot, I think taking Simmons would be interesting. I totally understand the argument of, hey, this is a way you can find a long-term answer at left tackle. It's probably not going to be Jalen Moore for the incredible long-term, but knowing the structure of Jalen Moore's deal, I believe here in the pro personnel department, I believe that there is every chance that Jalen Moore is this team's starting left tackle for the next 2 seasons. And if it completely blows up this year, then you do have to deal with the fact that you've made a signing that did not work out in the way that you expected it to. But I think you make that signing so you're not forced to go tackle here. I did pop over to the KCSN drafts guide. They have Kenneth Grant as interior defensive lineman 3. It's a second-round grade on him there because you're not going to have 30 first-round grades. I haven't counted the KCSN's first-round grade, but I'm sure it's well under 32 of those guys. That's not really how the grading system works, right? What you give me with Grant, and also, I think in the let me you know what? Let me pull up again. Let me go ahead and give you the I've gone either too far or not far enough. Oh dear, I'm bouncing around a PDF. I want to give you the Grant KCSN comp and team fit here, but I can't search the PDF and talk at the same time.
I will talk then for you.
I've got you. I told you interior defensive lineman 3, second round grade, player comp BJ Raji, team fit high, as the KCSN folks talked about him here, calling him a plug and play starter for the Chiefs at nose tackle and 1 tech. So can you spend 31 overall on a guy who's going to be your like super upgrade, high octane Derek Nottie replacement? It's not your Chris Jones successor, but it could be his running mate for a little while. I think I would go defensive line here because I came into this exercise thinking best defensive lineman available is going to be my inclination. The way the board fell right now, it seems like Grant's the best player available, probably by a little bit of a margin.
Yeah. He was second team All Big Ten Conference in 2023. He had 5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. In 2024, third team AP All American, second team All Big Ten. 6.5 tackles for loss with 3 sacks. Did not play in the team's bowl win over Alabama.
6'4", 330 do anything for you?
It does a lot for me.
Me too.
That's a sturdy man, and we're going to draft said sturdy man.
Let's go.
Kenneth Grant, congratulations. You are a Chief.
Now, we're going to have an interesting situation coming up here at the turn because we're not moving up probably in this 63, 66 range. Although, whoa, hold on. Can we accept these? Let's look at this. What do we got, Stu? You're the host. I was about to start hosting over you.
We have been asked if we want to take, it looks like a 6th rounder this year, a 3rd rounder, 4th rounder, and 6th year in the following years for this pick at 63. I'll go ahead and say no, thank you. One, it makes this segment really boring if we just trade for next year. We're not doing 2026.
I disagree on that point. I do not disagree on rejecting this trade. Continue. I'll share my thoughts before you officially hit the red button.
I also don't think it's good enough because that 3rd rounder, I think Baltimore is going to be good towards the end of the 3rd round, towards the end of the 4th round. You do get a 6th. Yeah, if this was real life, I would probably consider it, but I'd want to counter. I just don't think it's quite enough personally because of where Baltimore is going to be drafting.
No, I'm completely with you on that. When I first saw it pop up, I saw those 3 picks in 2026, and honestly, my assumption was that 2025 6th they're offering. I was thinking, oh, maybe that's like a 3rd, and they're saying, hey, we're gonna pay into the future to move up 20 picks, 30 picks or so, and in reality, you are selling a 2nd round pick for a 3, 4, 6 next year. I would consider, and if we get another deal, I'd be curious about it. I'd love to flip one of these picks into a move back and bolster for next year, but this would have to be like at least maybe a 2-3-5 as opposed to a 3-4-6 in exchange. So no, get out of here, Baltimore. That's a garbage offer, and I was hoping for better from you.
Yeah, reject. Now, here's where I'm very intrigued because I don't know if doubling down on the defensive line makes a ton of sense, but I really want to with Jack Sawyer. Really like Jack Sawyer. He was a 5-star recruit, top 5 overall pick nationally last year, 2nd team All Big Ten. 9 sacks, started all 16 games, 9 sacks and 6 pass breakups at edge. 6'4", 260. Yeah, man. He also feels like he would be a Spags guy. It even says dense frame, game is built for power but not speed. I mean, that does that not scream Steve Spagnuolo?
It really does. And I'll tell you again, like this is both how I've been feeling the last few weeks and also like kind of in the headspace of the way we're doing this exercise today. If I am looking at where this team has long-term question marks and maybe a little bit of room in the short term, I have been curious. I've not done any mock drafts this entire year. I've been curious about the double defensive line strategy, and we're picking again in 3 picks here. I kind of want to see how it goes, if nothing else. I think this is a good use of the exercise to say, hey, we went best player available twice in a row, and both times that guy was a defensive lineman. And this team can afford to have 2 defensive linemen on this roster. Now, it is a real challenge to Felix Anudike-Uzomah. It's probably the end for Malik Herring. Like the way that this shakes up this year's roster is fascinating because, George Karlaftis is playing every snap he can. Charles Omenihu is back, and I think playing as many snaps as he can be out there for, ideally. That's what I would be pushing for. It's what he should be pushing for. Mike Dana is a heavy usage DE3. Felix is already pushing to get on the field as a DE4. Now, in this case, Jack Sawyer is probably starting as your 5th guy. Totally room for him on the roster, and you've got guys doing inside-outside stuff, but you could give him a pretty slow rookie season, not quite a Felix red shirt, but you could give him a slow rookie season, and then you have a little bit of redundancy. First of all, if Felix doesn't take a step this year, if you end up in a place where you don't think you can pay George Karlaftis long-term, I think there's a lot of logic to doubling down on the defensive line. I'm totally open to that, specifically because also, this isn't the real draft. We're going to get to look back in 20, 30, 40 picks and see how this all shook out. We can go D-line and not worry about it the rest of the way. I think that's kind of cool.
So I think people might say, what about Princely versus Jack? Princely is going to be more of a stand-up 3-4, if I had to guess. That's a little bit what Lance Zierlein's talking. He's going to be more of a stand-up guy. He's a little bit lighter at 244. It doesn't feel like a Spags pick. Yeah. So that's more or less where I'm going in that regard. I like Jack. He is more or less in that Karlaftis type of player, high floor. What's the ceiling going to look like? But the Chiefs, in my opinion, do need another floor guy. I do see when's the draft again. It starts April 24th, so a little over 2 weeks away is the first round of the NFL draft. Let's draft Jack Sawyer.
Here's the other reason for that, Sterling. Mike Dana and Charles Omenihu both done after this year on their current deals functionally. Dana's got a 3rd year they won't keep.
Yes. So that is going to be, again, you're more than likely Mike Dana at a minimum replacement. We have received a trade offer because the Chiefs have that pick at 63 and then 66. Looks like we have a trade offer from the 49ers for pick 66. The Niners are offering at 75 and a 4th rounder.
Moving back 9 spots for a 4th this year.
Now, quite frankly,
real life, I would take this. Can you see the board behind there?
No, I cannot.
That's okay.
I don't know if there's a way for me to exit out, but if I exit out, then I might lose this deal. And quite frankly, Brisco, I want this deal.
I think I do too. I think we got to just sort of deal with the fact that this is a good. That 4th round pick is we're going to make it some corner from below the Mason-Dixon line, just like the Chiefs would do. And there's a chance that guy plays.
Let's accept this then.
Let's do it. Let's move back. Yeah, so Xavier Watts, the safety. We got linebacker, safety, D-line at the top there. I'm happy with how the board went after that trade back.
So a couple of interior offensive linemen right here. Arizona, Purdue, linebacker, but I don't think the Chiefs would go linebacker in this instance. Brisco, I think they're okay there, correct?
I'm a little bit afraid of them dipping back into the linebacker pool, and oh man, I just pulled up the KCSN page for Carson Swishinger. Kent's guy, Jake's guy, team fit, high grade, 2nd round. This is at 75 now too, right? Yeah, we moved because this is our move back spot. Let me read you this, Sterling, and you tell me how you think, okay? You tell me what this does for you. I was not planning on. I would like to look at pass catchers, but here's a little takeaway from, again, KCSN Draft Guide. It's a great resource. I had nothing to do with it. I just use it every single year. You can get it gum.co/KCSN25. You can check it out there and buy the PDF. they write that he'd be the best coverage linebacker on the Chiefs the minute he steps on the field. Be a will linebacker in Spags' defense, can be trusted in man coverage, middle of the field on passing downs. Drew Tranquill is not on this team next year. Leo Chanel is not trusted in those spots. Those are not any of Nick Bolton's strengths. With the fit, I could see this pick making sense. If I am here from the pro scouting department, I'm saying this guy is going to be a long-term answer for the Drew Tranquill replacement, be a coverage linebacker that this team is not really invested in that way. And he's probably going to be around longer than Nick Bolton is, or at least his contract would extend longer than the guaranteed money in Nick Bolton's deal. So I wouldn't be absolutely delighted in that spot. Do you have any pass catchers we like around here?
You have Elijah Arroyo from Florida, tight end. Misses a couple seasons already based on injury. Here's a quote. He's an average athlete who struggles to beat man coverage, but appeared to get faster and more fluid as the 2024 season wore on. Again, it comes down to, do the Chiefs want to go and double dip in the tight end market after they did last year with Jared Wiley?
Can I see the tight end board again? Is Fannin still on here? He's the guy that I'm just sort of like blindly curious about.
Again, Carson Schweisinger, I get what you're saying, but with the fact that they just re-signed Nick Bolton, I think that I get if you're saying, you know, he could be the Drew replacement or even the Leo replacement.
He's linebacker 2 on a rookie contract.
I don't hate it, but
I don't love it either.
I don't love it either.
Here's what I'll say. I don't love it, but looking at the board where we're at right now, yeah, we can poke around for Fannin a little later. Let's see the wide receiver board before I talk myself into a linebacker and going. Although I told you, man, we've talked about drafting defense, signing offense, and drafting defense. We are acting that out right now.
Yeah, we're doing what we say we do because that's, yeah. You got Trey Harris from Ole Miss right here. 6'2", 205 would be that prototypical X receiver. Over 1,000 yards, 17.2 yards per reception last year. Missed 5 games. Over 1,000 yards and missed 5 games last year.
KCSN
Trey Harris.
comp for Trey Harris, Dwayne Bowe. I'm in.
Are we doing it?
I think the Chiefs in this spot would go linebacker. I think that there is a real logic for going linebacker here that I personally don't care for unless it's a coverage first backer who can do a bunch of the things that Nick Bolton doesn't do at a very high level. Like, that pairing makes sense to me. I'm going to flip it to you. I've had a very strong voice these first 2 picks. I've led us to a double D line scenario. I think you either give me one of those receivers at the top, Becker, Harris, or we go linebacker. But I'm going to give the clicker to you.
I guess what we're also doing is not what the Chiefs would do, because you're probably right. The Chiefs probably do go linebacker in this situation. I don't want the Chiefs to go linebacker. I want the Chiefs to go with the 6'2" guy who had over 1,000 yards, missing 5 games last year. That guy is going to be Trey Harris. I'm going Trey Harris.
The Beck comp here was Puka Nacua. Interesting.
Which probably fits what the Chiefs would to do more, but that's okay.
We don't have time to make all these picks. Buffalo, that's moving us too far back, probably. The Bills just offered a pick to have us, a trade to have us move back 30-some picks and then pick up a 5, 6, and a future third. No, man. That's the
now that
Buffalo's
we have 3 trade offers.
Third is crazy.
Giants
is worse.
5th and a 7th, and next year, yeah, but the Giants are buns. That
their
third
pick
round
will
is
be better.
Good. Jags,
4-4-7, probably worse, right?
You moved to back 12 spots and pick up a 4th and a 7th next year.
Top player on the board right now is an edge. If that's what Buffalo is moving up for, it doesn't hurt us one bit. Look, man, we're getting kind of frisky with it. I think we're throwing a bunch of picks at the wall at the end of this thing and picking up a 2026 third rounder. That seems okay.
Yeah. By the way, it's the Bills. The Chiefs trading with the Bills is good. Yeah. I feel like that alone means we should take the Bills offer. I know people are going to want to take the Jags offer in real life.
Oh, I see that again. Let's see the Jags offer again. You move back just a couple picks and pick up a 4-7. You move back 12 picks.
In real life, you're probably taking the Jags.
Next year's third is a real asset. That could be a top 100 pick. I mean, this is a top 100 pick we're giving up, but in return for a 4, 5, 6 this year, I think I'd lean towards the Bills because third round pick is like pretty good.
All right, we're going to take it because Brisco is the GM in this situation. So
I think I've said you're the GM and I'm the pro scout. I'm giving you the authority here. It's your show.
Well, I like this. I'm going to accept this because, again, if the Bills want to trade with us, I think that's good omen.
You have my full endorsement.
Accept. So now we're going to sit tight for a second as we go through.
Will Howard. Oh, no, just went.
Bronson trade, getting pretty deep in the weeds. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. It's April 8th.
Let's just keep trading back.
Let's trade back again. Hey, here we go. Load up for next year. We've got all these picks this year. Let's get really wacky. The Saints one is no good. The Raiders one's okay. Would you give up this year's fourth for a better fourth next year and a fifth next year?
No, we've already done.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I probably would, but it becomes a bad entertainment product at some point.
Yeah, we have back-to-back picks right now. We got two for 142 and 143.
Can I have Tess Johnson, please? Can I have Tess Johnson? Can we go double receiver? Damn it. Hey, DJ Kittens. This is an appropriate place to look at running backs, I think. I think we're about there.
So if we're looking at running backs, Johnson, DJ Giddens or Devin Neal.
Don't make me do that. You put yourself in that border war. You're already a Mizzou guy. I don't need that.
Hey, pal. Come on, scout.
I'm looking at what we've got, the Kansas City Chiefs, what we're working with. I would probably lean Neal, but I don't know if that's consensus or not.
I was leaning Neal too, but I don't want to piss off K-State people.
Giddens is higher on the mock draft database board, right? Is that what we're seeing here?
What we're seeing. I just like Neal because I feel like he fits what the Chiefs.
I kind of do too.
All right. You know what? Chat, you make the call. Giddens or Neal? You have 30 seconds. Yeah, I say Neal too, Ronson trade. I'm a Mizzou guy. Joshua Clayton says Giddens. That's 1-1.
I'm putting my vote on Neal here.
Okay. We're going Neal. You are the scout.
I'm just voting. If we want to go, we also get to make two picks. We can take them both if we want. Well, let's look at this one. Let's look at this trade. Never mind. Trade stinks.
Reject that. That's buns.
We're gonna use this pick.
Oh, we could just get both.
I was gonna say we can take both of them back to back here and make everybody. No, that would still K-State fans would still be mad at the order we did that in probably. You know what, Sterling? I've waited long enough. Let's see that secondary. Can we see what we're at in the cornerback range?
Get all Denzel Burke from Ohio State.
North of the line, Jones. We're another defensive lineman.
I know we don't need another defensive lineman, but Savion Jones is real interesting. That might be around at 138 if possible. We have so many picks.
True. We have so many picks.
Because you and I did such a great job.
We really did. This is going to look like a really good draft by just sort of trading back and taking one of the top handful of guys.
You may go to just cornerback?
If we're not going to double dip on Kobe Bryant out there too, we're going to go double KUs. Are you willing to double up on KU here?
That's tough. I will say Denzel Burke was 2023 first team All Big Ten, 24 honorable mention All Big Ten, started all 16 games, 48 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 pass breakups. 2023 is intriguing. I don't know.
I think if you want to grab Burke here and address the corner spot, we could look at linebacker again. I don't know what the rest of the top of the big board looked like, but I think this is a spot where I'd be willing to draft a coverage linebacker that I'm happy with. I don't know if they exist in the 130 range, and we got another pick in 5 here. So I'd say let's keep leaning on the defense. Let's go ahead and go corner here. You take your pick. Burke probably makes sense. Again, north of the Mason-Dixon, but I can work that into my scouting report.
A+ according to NFL Mock Draft Database Simulator. So we are on an absolute heater. Now, this is really interesting. You could double down and go Kobe Bryant. You could go wide receiver with Tez Johnson.
I kind of want Tez Johnson. We've already
go
taken
with
one
Savion.
receiver though.
You could go Savion, and I don't know if there's room on the team for two rookie receivers this year.
Yeah, it's tough.
I think I like Weston says. Do you look at tight end here? I think tight end could be intriguing.
Yeah, let's crack that back open. I'm guessing that Fannin went sometime between now and the last time we looked. But if Harold Fannon's still available at tight end, I'd be invested in that experiment. Now he's off the board.
Iowa. Iowa's always going to be good tight ends.
Wait. You can wait there. You can wait on this Iowa tight end.
Okay. I think Savion Jones.
Did you want Savion Jones?
if
Yeah,
I
do
was
that. Let's not overthink that one. I'm good just throwing. Now again, we are getting close in the roster construction here. This is our last defensive end. We can't do it again, but I'm happy to put two premium picks and another decent one into the D line. I'm cool with that.
I guess because I'm BJ Thompson. I doubt. No Derek Nottie. No Tershawn Wharton this year. I obviously brought in a couple of guys, Jerry Tillery, Pennell's back. I'm fine going younger and throwing bodies, and I just think Savion Jones is intriguing enough at 138 to be a spot where I'm like, yeah, I'm all in here. So I'll go Savion Jones.
6'5", 280. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm interested. Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
We haven't gone line yet, as we have a couple of linemen and a couple of linebackers. We got a safety up top here. I mean, those, I'll tell you what, from my perspective of the bit I'm doing here, those feel like the right guys to have at the top of the board. Do you know, Sterling, do you know anything about any of those guys who are currently surrounded by orange at the top of the big board?
I think Jalen Reed would be intriguing. Again, I'm always okay with the Chiefs going safety, young safeties, because I don't think paying a lot of safeties makes the most sense. 6 foot safety right here. 211. Nice. Ran a 4.4, 4.49. So just under 4 in the 4.4s.
And right now, there's not. Jaden Hicks is probably the only long-term answer at safety right now, as the Chiefs are viewing it. At least he's the only semi-sure thing, and we're talking about him as a sure thing entering his second season in the league. So I think having somebody that maybe gives you a little bit of flexibility with the futures of Brian Cook and Shamari Connor, I think that all tracks. I'm happy to take Jalen Reed here. I like it.
Yeah, I like Rodson trade too. So many picks, half these guys wouldn't make the team. Hey, you're probably right, but we got to do it.
We didn't pause it enough to trade up, and look, training camp's going to be crazy, and we're going to have a great practice squad. Don't sweat it.
We're going to have a great practice squad. Going to be elite. So you have Jalen Reed, who was second team All Big Ten. You have Mondon Jr. from Georgia. Anytime there's a linebacker from Georgia, I think you get pretty intrigued by. You going linebacker, you going safety?
Oh, I'm in on Reed.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm full Reed. Stamp there.
Full stamp. Jalen Reed.
Mondon's still there on the back around. This might be a move I'm willing to. Oh, hell yeah, we got to take this, Sterling.
Yeah, that's a fourth rounder next year.
We can see what the rest of them are, but the Seahawks just gave us a legit. Well, the Lions also gave us a legit good offer. So they're both the same. They're both just whatever team you think is worse, and that 7th round pick doesn't really matter to me.
And that's Seattle, because we think Detroit's gonna be better.
What's the Baltimore has us moving back less for a 4.57. Go back around. 4.57, 4.6. I'd rather have the Ravens one, right? Am I dumb?
I think the Ravens is where I'm leaning to.
We don't move back as far, and we get next year's 4.57 from them as opposed to a 4.6.
Why aren't we GMs?
This seems really easy. And also now that we nailed this, we're getting rid of a pick, and we're keeping the pick, but we're picking up 3 more for next year. If this goes out in like a graphic or something, we need to include what we added next year, because that's just as impressive as the draft we're putting together right now.
We might be the greatest GMs who've ever GM'd.
Yes. And all these 7th round, again, I see the thing in the chat too. All of these 7th round picks are priority UDFAs now.
Yes.
You get first dibs on a bunch of guys who would have been UDFA camp bodies that you see maybe one of them pops. If one of them pops, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you've got yourself a contributor.
Like, you could even take a guy, if you were hyped on Trevor Etienne originally. Okay, right. That's fine. But yes, it's 2 running backs. But at this point, who do you really want on your roster.
Can we see who is the interior alignment at the top? This feels like Jake Majors. This feels like IOL depth territory where he's like competing with CJ Hansen for a spot or something. We went Neal earlier, so I don't feel like we go Etienne here, but I wouldn't have hated it if this is where you end up taking a shot at a linebacker.
Jake
Uptown
Majors.
Stout sounds like Uptown Stout out of Western Kentucky is a Chiefs corner.
Oh my gosh.
Uptown,
It's not Uptown,
stout
it's
you up.
Upton.
Upton stout you up. I was setting up my joke. Sorry.
He's 5'8".
Is he really?
He's 5'8".
Little guy. Okay.
He did run
Right.
a 4.4.
Corner
But-
standards. Probably not a huge team fit. We've done such a good job of addressing the needs here that I felt like we'd go need hunting. Sterling, hit tackle for me. Hit offensive tackle. Let's see if there's somebody with 35-inch arms we can just go grab.
John Williams.
Oh,
was
we got it. Sean with a great point in the chat. We got to get the 460-pound defensive tackle from Florida by the end here.
Oh yeah, where's he at? That'd be D line.
We can do that at the end. I don't think he's supposed to go yet, but next pick. Let's see.
What's his name? Christian.
Desmond Watson. Excuse
Watson,
me.
there we
Desmond
go.
Watson.
Oh yeah, we got time.
We got time. 4:35. We have Mr. Irrelevant, dude. He could be Mr. Irrelevant. Oh, that right.
John Williams. Ooh, John Williams might
Can I
make some
see?
sense.
Can I see the tackle board that you've got here?
Yeah, sorry.
You're good.
John Williams from Cincinnati.
Oh, the board isn't. These are not good numbers to see, but just how the database is ranking them, which not law, but not a great board for finding freak athletes with starter potential here in the 6th round. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think Jake Majors is the guy the Chiefs would probably go to because he started, I think, 57 games in his college career. Just feels like okay.
Another guy, best 5, throw him in the mix. I'm fine with that. That feels in character, and we haven't picked a lineman yet. I think we take a tackle towards the end, and we get our large adult son from Florida, and I think this draft is perfect.
By the way, the boys are on their Sam Presti vibes. That's incredible.
Let's
That's a
go.
compliment.
I'm taking it.
Okay, Jake Majors.
Hit it. What do we got left? 3 picks? 3 picks
Three
left.
picks.
Here's what I'm going to say, Sterling. I'm going to say hit that tackle button.
Okay.
Brandon Crenshaw Dixon. That's our man.
It's a great name.
It's a great name. He's going to fit well in the Laurent Duvernay-Tardif sort of pipeline of making the Chiefs equipment staff work really hard right there with Smith-Schuster, Reese Zammit. So I think Crenshaw Dixon's our guy. How long are his arms? I'm gonna look it up.
34.
That's like the cutoff, right? That's like that's exactly where we're drawing the line.
He is 6'7", 316. Big boy.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. His RAS is not good. He's a lot of red.
So, not an athlete.
Not particularly athletic.
He feels like he
But
is
he's
not
big
a
as
Chief.
hell. He's tall.
He feels like not a Chief. Sorry.
I just picked the first one on the. We're in the 7th round. We gotta throw a dart. And we gotta take a tackle somewhere.
Well, we're looking.
How about John
I'm-
Williams? I love his music.
That's why I said great composer.
I didn't hear you say that. I'm sorry. I was too busy looking at RAS cards. Sub 34-inch arms for John Williams. Not him. Sorry.
You could look at. Oh,
Xavier Truss got 35-inch arms. No, he's a guard prospect on here.
33, but you could still take a little Xavier Truss. Just saying.
Another
6'7",
interior.
3.
He's not playing. He's not playing tackle for the Chiefs with 30 whatever inch arms. That's not happening.
No, he's not.
All right, fine. Get out of the tackle group, then we'll come back and we're gonna burn our necks from there. Let's get one more. We have one more real pick. Is how I'm viewing it. We have one more real pick, and then we're taking a tackle, and we're taking our large adult son from Florida.
What? Little Jackson Hawes, from Georgia Tech, tied in.
Perfect.
Why wouldn't we? Let's just
Why
take a little
wouldn't we?
look-see. Let's take a little look-see. What? A little background on Jackson Hawes.
KCSN draft guy gave him a 5th round grade, high team fit. Boom. Oh, true blocking tight end, they say, which they could use.
Yeah, the Chiefs actually need a true blocking tight end.
Fantastic. Good work, Sterling. Good work, KCSN draft guide. Good work, Josh. Jackson Hawes.
By the way, second team all Ivy League. And he did it with what it looks like is 97 yards receiving.
The most impressive thing is that he was all Ivy League while playing at Georgia Tech, apparently.
All right.
He transferred. He was
He
was at Yale before that.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Wait, is Nick Nash the guy from San Jose State? That's incredible.
I don't know, man. Take the tight end first, then we'll look at Nick Nash.
Wait, no, timeout. Timeout. We're stopping for a second.
Okay.
Wasn't Nick Nash the guy that was insane last year?
He's going to be 26 years old as a rookie.
First team, all Mountain West.
Yeah,
First team,
because he's our
all
age.
American. Finalist for the Blintikoff Award. Led the FBS with 16 touchdowns, a 1,382 yards receiving. No. I'm all the way in.
You twisted my arm on Trey Harris, and now I didn't get Zay Jones. Fine, go ahead.
No, I'm taking the guy with production. Sorry, if you were Blintikoff
I said
Award
Zay Jones.
winner,
I meant Tez Johnson. It was just three letter first names. Completely threw me off.
I don't give a hoot.
Nor a holler. Go ahead,
I'm
draft
getting
Steve Nash.
Nick Nash.
Okay, this is when our mock really diverges. I would have taken up, and our tight end is gone. Great, everybody.
Well-
Well, everybody, I hope that you enjoy not having another Travis Kelce. Let's look at tackles and tight ends here, and then we are taking Florida man with Mr. Irrelevance pick.
Yeah, of course. Of
Cool.
course. Nick Nash was the right move there, boys. I'm just saying.
I'm fine
Nick
with that. I
Nash.
couldn't care less.
Well, I
trust
care a
you.
lot.
I trust you. I trust you.
I
What
care
what I meant
so
to,
much.
What I meant to say is I trust you.
I cared enough for the both of us. So you're welcome.
We got a tackle or a tight end here. What do you think? I'm hearing pro personnel. I'm saying, look, we got room for a tackle on this roster. Can he take a spot away from Ethan Driscoll? Give me my guy BCD. Thank you.
Okay.
We're gonna go back-to-back Florida men at the end here, huh?
We're doing it. All right. With the
D-Wop.
final pick, your Kansas City Chiefs, they draft the largest man, maybe in the world, Desmond Watson.
The largest man in NFL history. Our only bad grade. The database loved our pick. Okay, hold on. A+, A, B+, Devin Neal. A+, B+, A+, B+, Nick Nash. A+, F.
How do I save? Save.
Please export this somewhere. I mean, I guess we just did it on live video, so we could, theoretically get it. And we got the trade recaps. Fantastic.
Look at all those picks.
We made perfect picks all the way through. We got an entire list, and we added, let's see, a 2026 third. Scroll down. And we got a 2026 third, fourth, fifth, and seventh. While also making perfect picks. And now Sterling's getting an ad for Tiger Woods' clothing line, and he has not closed the pop-up because he's thinking about buying something.
I was off the page. That's on me.
That's
on
okay.
me.
That's okay.
That-
I didn't realize you were no longer screen sharing.
How do I get off the screen sharing?
You got it, Rich. You got it.
I did it.
No, I believe Richard did it.
That Slothy, the F is for fucking large. Earmuffs, kids. That might be.
That's the way you do that, by the way. It's like you go outside, you get frostbite, your ears fall off, you walk back in, you're like, earmuffs.
That could have been the greatest draft of all time.
Tweet it out, dude, and watch the people lose their collective minds. Because listen, Brett Veach, he's had it pretty good for a pretty long time. Okay, the honeymoon period lasts a long time when you keep winning championships. But you know what I think it's time for? I think it's time for there to be a little bit of heat under Brett Veach's seat. And what I think America needed to see, what I think Chiefs Kingdom needed to see, was a couple of guys showing not only could they do that job as well as Brett Veach, we could do it better. Sorry, Brett. Pretty easy. Just built a great draft class.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Terry, in
it.
the chat. Special teams look good with our picks. That's absolutely true. We got a lot of core 4 special teamers here. Dave Tobe is happy with this draft. What do you do here, Brett? What would you say you do here? Because I think Sterling and I could do this. And Sterling, I'm going to speak for both of us here. And I think we're on the same page. Sterling and I will share Brett Veach's salary minus 1%. You can have both of us for less than you're paying Brett Veach right now.
Yeah, I'd do it.
And then Sterling and I will split that 70-30, and I'll tell Sterling off the call who's who.
Well, it's me, 70. But I'll share the 70 with you, 35-35.
I'm in.
Not a math guy.
I'm a mock guy, apparently. One
That
and
was
done,
fun.
dude.
I now understand why people actually understand. I get why people like mock drafts. I understand it now.
We did it in a fun way. Like only we could.
You know what? I hope everyone enjoyed that because it was not just the mock draft. It was the friends we made along the way.
That's
I
right.
appreciate everyone for hanging out with us and doing this with us. That was fun. I'm glad everyone was as thrilled by the large man we got with Mr. Irrelevant pick as well.
Do you know what Desmond Watson doesn't have, Sterling?
What?
A Napoleon complex. Because he's 449 pounds. You know a fun fact about Napoleon?
Is that you can listen to that on the previous episode. This was a lot of fun. Again, thank you guys for doing this mock draft with us. We are 16 days away, if you're listening to it on the live stream, which is April 8th. First round, April 24th. I think we're going to be doing something fun right here on the Arrowhead Addict podcast. For Josh Brisco, you can follow him on the X at JB Brisco, myself at HomestretchKC. Thank you yet again to everyone in the chat. That was a lot of fun. Thank you to Richard for putting up with our nonsense and helping me figure out how to screen share. Yeah, I'm a tech guy now. Big tech guy. I'll be back tomorrow with Adam Best.
464 pounds.
Till next time, we are out.